If you are wanting to create a character to play in campaign mode for Alien the Roleplaying Game, you'll start by picking a career from the 9 available options of Colonial Marines, Colonial Marshal, Company Agent, Kid, Medic, Officer, Pilot, Roughneck, or Scientist. For this example, let's go with a Colonial Marine. I'll mark off that Strength will be my key attribute, and that Close Combat, Stamina, and Ranged Combat will be my key skills. I'll cover what this means soon. Next, I can pick a career talent from the 3 options. The full list of talents can be found starting on page 73. I will pick Overkill, which lets me ignore some effects of panic, but I must stay in the situation until either all my enemies are broken or I am. Now I can pick one option from each of the listed names, personal agendas, and appearance, or create my own options. I'll go with Marcus, and that my character is a decorated hero who feels the need to defend my reputation at all costs. And I'll have an arm tattoo. These don't have any mechanical effects, but will help with role-playing. Every character will have a signature item. This is something small that is important to your character and can be used to reduce stress. I'll take a Lost Friends dog tags. And lastly, let's pick some gear. I can roll 1d6 and multiply the result by 100 to give me some cash, in this case 300. Then I can pick 2 options from the list. I'll go with an M41A pulse rifle and M3 personal armor. Looking at the gear section starting on page 116, you can learn more about the different options. The pulse rifle has a bonus of +1, deals 2 points of damage, long range, and has a weight of 1. It also has the benefits of being armor piercing, full auto, and has an attached grenade launcher. Weapons always start out with 2 full reloads. My M3 armor has a rating of 6, a weight of 1, and a built-in comms unit. When taking damage from an attack, you can roll a number of dice equal to the armor rating and reduce the damage taken by the number of successes you roll. I'll cover what counts as a successful roll soon. Remember to add up any weights listed in the Encumbrance slot. You can carry a number of items equal to twice your strength rating without any problems. Some items have heavy or light tags that weigh more or less than regular items. There's also a spot on your sheet for tiny items. These are items that are so small that they could be held in a closed fist and don't affect your encumbrance at all. Now let's start giving this character some stats. Characters in Alien the Roleplaying Game have 4 core attributes of Strength, Agility, Wits, and Empathy. Each of these attributes have 3 skills associated with them. Off the start, I have 14 points to divide between the 4 core attributes. No attribute can be lower than 2 or higher than 4, with the exception of the key attribute, which can go up to 5. For a Colonial Marine, the key attribute is Strength. You don't have to make your key attribute 5, but for this example I will. Then I'll give 4 points to Agility, 2 to Empathy, and my final 3 will go to Wits. I can also fill in my hit points here. Your health is equal to your Strength attribute, so my character will have a 5 in health. Now I can give my character some skills. I have 10 points to spend across the 12 skills. Starting with my key skills, I can assign 3 points to each of these, and then 1 point to any other skills. I'm not going to spend all my points on my key skills though, so I will give 3 to Ranged Combat, 2 to Close Combat, and 1 to Stamina. I will put the 4 remaining points in Mobility, Piloting, Command, and Survival. Throughout the game you'll gain experience points that you can spend to improve your skills. I'll cover this at the end of the video. The last thing to do is decide if you have a buddy and/or a rival from the other player characters. You don't have to have either, but they will help with role-playing, and it gives the GM some extra ways to set up interesting situations, as well as a potential way to earn XP. Now your character is done. I will walk through this sheet to show you how everything works. To start with, let's see how the dice rolls work here. Anytime the GM asks for a skill roll, you roll a number of d6s equal to the skill plus the attribute. For example, a piloting roll would be a 1 plus 4. Even if you don't have a rating in a particular skill, you can still roll a number of dice equal to the associated core attribute. There are also modifiers to your rolls that will cause you to gain or lose dice. For example, if my character was attacking with his pulse rifle, it would require a ranged combat roll with 7 dice. However, the pulse rifle also has a bonus of +1, so I would get to roll 8 dice in total. This number might also be modified positively or negatively by the distance to my target. Throughout the game, your character will also gain stress points. These are kept track of here. Whenever you make a skill roll, you add a number of dice equal to your stress level. These dice can help you succeed on your roll, but if any of your stress dice result in a 1, you risk panicking. What's nice about this game is you don't need to add all these dice up and compare them against a target number or difficulty class. You generally succeed on your roll as long as you roll at least 1 6. If you roll multiple 6s, you can spend the additional successes to perform stunts. There are a number of conditions and injuries you'll be likely to gain during your game. Just below that is a place for keeping track of consumables. The higher the rating, the better. At specific intervals, you'll need to roll for a specific consumable. Your supply rating is reduced by 1 for every 1 you roll. Story points can be handed out by the GM for following your personal agenda. You can only ever have a maximum of 3 story points, but you can spend 1 point to automatically gain 1 success on a dice roll. And finally, experience points. At the end of each game session, there's a series of questions that your group should discuss, such as did you further your personal agenda, did you stand up to your rival, or did you discover something significant? You can earn 1 XP for every yes you answer. In between sessions, you can spend XP to improve your skills or to learn new talents. Some of these improvements will also require being taught by another character, training for a certain amount of time, or making a wits roll. Now you should be ready for your character to just have the worst time in the cold dark of space. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Up next on this channel will be a review of the core rules for Alien the Roleplaying Game, and then Moria for the One Ring. Thanks so much for watching, have a great day.